Business, your dreams, your success. You've been all in for your small business since day one. Now, go all out for the chance to win $30,000 in the FedEx Small Business Grant Contest. Entry opens January 31st.
It's risky doing this. Because what if I can't ever find that color again?
I'm 31 and I'm a fitness instructor. I saw myself in the photograph and we were all smiling and I looked closer.
I think I'll put on there like colors may
That's what
vary.
everybody sees.
Yes.
I'm back and I got Botox Cosmetic. The lines were so prominent, it's all I saw in the photograph. So now when I take photos and I see myself in photos, it's me.
Chance, what's up, bud?
Botox Cosmetic is FDA approved to temporarily make frown lines, crow's feet, and
Your
forehead
TV's
lines
still
look
on.
better.
You're on
The effects of
YouTube.
Botox
Well, there's a
Cosmetic
commercial.
may spread hours to weeks
I
after
know, but
injection, causing
Well, I
serious
know,
symptoms.
but there's a
Or it can happen
commercial.
right away.
It's just reminding you.
See, I had to skip the ad on my own live feed. Probably ought to turn the volume down too. And get copyrighted for hearing my own stuff. Clinton Payne, what's up? Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. I'm gonna tie just a few jigs up. I was working on what I'm on.
You need a. Okay, you know on TikTok when you watch people's videos and they say the same thing every time they open the video? You need something like that. Every time you start a video, you need to say.
Yeah, but if you listen to that one guy, he says don't do that. Because everybody says, welcome back to my channel, or I don't know.
Like my favorite.
Oh, I know what you're getting. Like,
My favorite TikToker's like, hey, what are you doing? Nothing. Okay. And then goes on.
I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. I get it. I need some kind of fancy.
Yeah, don't say
slogan.
welcome back or.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what that guy was saying on that was, don't be boring or something. Just be. Crappie Barbecue said just be you.
Well, be you. Be
All right, so I'll be what's up. That's me. What's up? Any certain colors you guys would want to see, like on a website, like what would be hot sellers? I know things like green and chartreuse and pink and white, and I don't want to get into a whole lot of UV resin jigs on her just yet. How come I ain't getting comments on the TV? I can't tell if they're on or off. That on? When it's lit up black? Or is that on?
Why they change colors?
Well, one of them's telling you the comments are turned on, and one's telling you the comments are turned off.
Oh.
But all it says is successfully connected. I don't like it. We're going to redo that.
I should have made stew today.
It would have been a good day for stew.
One of these days, I'm gonna figure out how many meals I've planned in my lifetime.
How many meals you cook in a lifetime?
Well, just planning. Period.
Yeah, but planning and doing are two different things.
I don't want to know.
I bet it's a lot.
I feel like it's just
That's all you do.
yeah.
I always wonder too, when I sit back and wonder things, have I ever caught the same crappie twice? Like the ones I've thrown back? Did I go back like the following weekend and catch that fish again?
I can almost guarantee I've made more meals than fish you've caught.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
7 days a week, 3 meals a day.
Well, I think you need to give me the opportunity to try to match that. That's what I think.
Since I was like 18 years old.
Well, I think I need the opportunity to be able to compete with that. That would require quitting my job and fishing like 7 days a week.
Okay. Then I wouldn't have to plan meals anymore.
We should
We
start.
wouldn't have food.
We should start some kind of online poll about that. I might have to start that jig again. I've just about trashed it. It's like the first one I've ever tied.
Yes.
I almost did trash that jig. What's everybody up to today? Anybody do anything good? Anybody go fishing today? Anybody in this part of Missouri out fishing today? I'm thinking about going tomorrow. That front coming in, though, might make the fish a little bit stubborn. That's kind of me making excuses not to go out when it's 39 degrees. Okay, twice catching the net. Twice catching the net don't count. Caught sand crappie 3 times. Do you see people do that when they talk about bass fishing sometimes and big catfish? I know, I think Cody Benatin posted something about that last week, that he caught the same fish like almost 2 days in a row.
How do you know?
The scars on them and the way they were hooked and the hook spot. I'm pretty sure I've seen him post something like that. I might be wrong, but I think I've seen that. Just got home from work and painting Disco Silver and Disco Gold Freestyle. Where did you get Disco Gold? Actually, I think they told me, I called Barlow's yesterday and they told me TJ's Tackle had it. They actually looked, Barlow's actually got on Google and Googled up who had Disco. Is that where you got the Disco Silver from? I really, really need a thing of Disco Silver. The stuff I made worked, but it didn't work at the same time, if that makes any sense. Bait store here in Tennessee. You think they would ship it to me? Or would you buy it and be willing to ship it to me? And who was that guy you said called you today?
I think his name is Scott.
You send me a link or an address or something, I'd be more than willing to pay you to buy it. I cannot find it anywhere. It seems weird that a tackle shop in Tennessee would have it, and I couldn't get it from Barlow's. Like, I mean, they went out of their way. I wasn't really expecting the lady at Barlow's to get on. She got on Google on her cell phone and started looking for it. So, I mean, if that don't tell you something about Barlow's, nothing does.
Where's Barlow's located?
I'm not sure where they're located at. I've got their catalogs, but yeah, that woman hopped right on there and started looking for it. I was kind of impressed by that. So you know for a fact Barlow's definitely going to help you out. If they ain't got it, they're going to help you find it. $14 people. If everybody don't mind, if y'all don't mind, hit that like button. That helps YouTube keep my algorithm going. I just don't even want to really talk about algorithm right now a little bit. Usually I got a big plan of exactly what I'm going to tie, and I'm usually tying like 24, 25 at a time, but trying to get them all on a website, trying to get so many at first and get the right one tied up with the right kind of material. Thank you, Flyer. Appreciate that. So that way I can make sure I can keep making the exact same jig. So it looks exactly like I don't know what I'm doing, and you're right. I don't know what I'm doing. Because I'm going to end up putting something in there that I'm not going to be able to find material again for. So I'm kind of being pretty selective on what I'm going to use. I think we're going to go chartreuse marabou in this, and maybe a pink body. All those likes do help a lot. I know sometimes you're watching it on a TV or something like that, and you can't. That's the bad thing about watching YouTube TV. You can't physically hit the like, but if you're watching on your cell phone, or you're watching on a laptop or something like that, if you don't mind, hit that like button. That's what keeps my videos and my channels up for suggestion through YouTube. Glenn, good afternoon. Make sure they still have some. Okay. I'd really, really appreciate that because I'll definitely buy some off of them. A jar of it. I don't know how they sell it, but I usually get it in like 2-3 ounce jar or something like that. It'd be crazy, like big tackle places and Bass Pro and all that stuff don't have them, and their tackle shop in Tennessee has it. But if that's the only place I can get it, I'll take it. Went by the fly shop, Plateau Fly Shop today. Got stocked up on some material. Got a hat that I'll be giving away in a live coming up sometime here pretty soon. I'll be pouring lead tomorrow. Got 800 hooks to pour. Jake's Jigs and Lures. Man, I don't. One thing I won't get into is pouring my lead. I don't want nothing. I don't really want nothing to do with it. Actually, I don't have the room for it. And just never liked it. When I was a kid, Dad would melt stuff down, and pour leads to make sinkers for fishing in the Ohio River. I just remember it being nasty, dirty, stunk. You already know what the name of this one's going to be. Yeah? What are you watching?
You and you're talking there, but you're not here. Is it that delayed?
Yeah, that way YouTube can catch it when you screw something up and they want to shut you down.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing.
What's it gonna be called?
Electric Chicken. No, I ain't naming electric. I ain't naming it after Wally Marshall stuff. On my website, these are going to be totally different names. It won't be stuff like the Gray Ghost and, should I say, no, probably not. That's probably why the delay, the one I thought about naming.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, I won't do that.
No, it's just a car funny.
That was just our little conversation. Jeff Smith, good evening, buddy. How are you today? Where are you from? Everybody comment where you're from. Some of you guys, I know where you're from. Jeff Smith, don't seem like I remember where you're from.
I know where I'm from.
Where? The moon? Mars? Mars. That's what I think. East Tennessee. Glenn's from Springfield. I knew that. I knew where Glenn was from, and flyers from Enos, Texas, just south of Dallas. Seems like I sent something to Enos, Texas before. Was it you? Did I mail you some jigs? Jay Berry, the Funky Rooster. That ain't a bad name for it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There'll be 10 total jigs on my website when I get this set up. Dennis in Ohio talked to me yesterday on Messenger. I did, didn't I? Jake Redmond, where do you live at? Are you over? I was thinking he was over like around Nemo somewhere. Am I wrong? Or Humansville? 20 people on now. Heck yeah. Should be at least 20 likes up there. Y'all don't mind, get them up there. Hit that like button. About the UV resin stuff. Oh, well, that's right. I got you now. Ennis, Texas. Did I say it right that time? Towards High Point on Stockton. Mom has a lake house on Palm around Wheatland. All right, I got you. You didn't go out this weekend? You didn't fish any? I was thinking about going tomorrow.
Still trying to figure out what I want to cook for dinner.
Don't cook anything. We should have thought out that deer tenderloin. We should have thought out that deer tenderloin.
Yeah, we should.
No, sir. I had work for Uncle Sam,
We can't go out for lunch
unfortunately.
and leave the kids here to fend for themselves.
Yeah, you can. Recover from 3 major surgeries. Well, I'm glad you're recovering from them. Glad to hear you're recovering from them. One surgery is bad enough. I can imagine having to go through 3 of them. What just happened? Why'd it get dark? Something just got unplugged. That's why. So this one will be something like, I had a flash for it. I can't see it now. Can't find it. There it is. Instead of this one being Junebug, it might be like Imagine Dragon or the Dragon. And my Gray Ghost isn't going to be the Gray Ghost. It's going to be like Lone Wolf or something. Something cool. Something catchy. Something different. According to the doctors, I ought to be dead. Got 1 more to go in a year from now. Well, doctors ain't gods. They can't predict. They can't give an expiration date all the time. But somebody must be looking after you, watching for you to make sure you pull through all that. Yes, Peak Vices are the real deal. The Peak Vice is absolutely the best. As far as I'm concerned, I've never had any issues out of my Peak Vice. I've actually got 2 of them. I had 3 of them. I kind of wish I hadn't got rid of that 3rd one. That way I could have always had one in the boat with me. But 2's probably enough. I ended up sold 1 other one. But yeah, the Peak Vice is by far definitely been my favorite. I've tied with some other ones. Had one that I tied with for a long time, a cheap one that came from Amazon. And actually, it done the job. It wasn't that bad. But I wanted the rotary function. And the rotary function helped a whole lot. Kept from, always trying to lean over and look to see what's going on the bottom side of it, or you get one tied up and the bottom side wasn't quite what you wanted. 5 days to live. She lived another 12 years. Had your mom to 5 more days to live, and she lived for 12 years. See? And my wife's grandpa, how long was he on dialysis? He was like, I think he broke like some kind of Missouri record.
13.
He was on dialysis for 13 years.
They gave him no more than 6 or 7.
Yeah, they said that no more than 6 or 7, not to expect to make it past that, and lived for 13 years. And I'm pretty sure he got like a plaque or something, the longest living recipient on
At that facility.
at that facility. I don't know what else there was, but made it longer than anybody ever had on dialysis. There's my future crappie fishing partner.
Hi, buddy. Hi, babies.
That's him. Won't be too much longer. I'll be telling him to sit down in a boat and get him a bucket of minnows to play with. Yeah, the man upstairs is definitely watching out for you. Yeah, it's like scalding hot down here.
I'm cold.
You're crazy too. 10 minutes from now, you'll be hot, so.
He's been pulling them out of that.
I started out with that kit they had on Amazon for like 50 bucks. Came in a wooden box, had a bunch of cheap tools in it and cheaper tools in it because honestly, the whip finish tool that came in that I still use. I use that whip finish tool every day. And I've bought other ones and I cannot find one that's like that again. And it wouldn't mind me, you get used to any whip finish tool. It just, you find a tool that fits your hand and you like the way it feels, it's hard to give it up. I've had, so many people tell me about buying scissors that are more expensive, like $40, $50 pairs of scissors. They last longer. These ones that come from the Dollar General, they got that little bent neck in them. So that way you can reach up in there tight and snip that thread off. $10, I go through maybe 2 of them a year. And I just like the way they feel. They fit my fingers right. And if I ended up trying a pair of $40 scissors, I'd like them and I'd end up spending $40 on scissors. So trip down here to Dollar General. Actually, I think I've had that pair now for 2 years. That might be my record breaker.
You making the jigs for the Etsy page?
There they are, right there. I got this one and one more to tie up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
There should be 10.
Let's look and see how many I've tied up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that blue one back there is 10.
That's pretty. What'd you use for that?
Marabou. That's stuff right there in that bag.
That's pretty.
You're in my way.
I'm sorry.
Get out of my way. Busy. Like I said, going through and figuring out what I'm going to towel these with and making sure I got material to stay caught up with them. I need red in this one. Is that red or is that pink?
Red.
So anybody got any suggestions of what you would want to see on a, if you was, and not just mine, but if you were flipping through a website and you're looking for jigs to buy, are you looking just for like spur of the moment, this is what you're after, or just some good ideas? Huh?
Or specific colors.
Yeah, or specific colors. And then eventually I'll put on the, like some of the UV resin coated jigs. They'll eventually be on there. Just right now I want to start out with just jigs that I can keep caught up with. This one's probably my favorite. I tied this one before I got on YouTube. Kind of like most people would probably call it like the Gray Ghost or something like that. It's tied with it's a fake hair, but I can't think of what kind it was. I've got enough of that stuff to last like 25 years. Look, my news don't go popping. man, I didn't care a whole lot for that stone faux bobbin. I don't know what it was. Just maybe it's just me. Everybody's got something they prefer to tie with. That stone faux bobbin, I kind of liked it and kind of didn't like it at the same time. That stone faux Vise they got, the Vise stone faux makes, I could see that coming up in my future. That stone faux Vise is unbelievable. Just didn't like the feel of it in my hand for some reason. But I seen that Vise when I was at the fly shop a couple weeks ago, man. It caught my attention as soon as I seen it. That was a little pricey. Could it be in my future sometime pretty soon? Not that I'd ever completely give up the peak, but there is that chance. I have a hard time believing I would ever give up the peak. I'd like to do a review with that stone faux Vise though. I'd like to have it for a weekend or a week and just tie with it. This Vise here, the Peak Rotary Vise, you can normally find for somewhere right around the $200 range. Yeah, mine's got the D-arm. I ain't worried about the brass set screw. I've had my Peak Vise for, this is the main one I have tied with for 5 years, and I have not even come close to wearing down that set screw. A lot of people were running Peak down because of that plastic set screw. There's no way anybody was putting that much tension into that plastic set screw to wear it down that fast. I don't see that even being possible, but never had any problems with that set screw. There was people when I was looking at reviews on it before I bought it, and they were talking about, oh, that plastic screw wears down, and even if it wore down, if tomorrow I couldn't put enough tension on it, I would go buy a brass one to put in it, but I would not buy the Peak because of the reviews you see in that plastic set screw. Don't let that plastic set screw stop you. The only thing I don't really utilize, and I don't like it because I've never made myself get used to it, is the bobbin holder. To me, for the way I tie and how I tie, the bobbin holder kind of gets in my way, and most of the time I end up using it as a Chanel holder. I got my Chanel, I got the keeper on my other Vise. I've usually got the keeper on here and got my Chanel running through that and back off on the side of the bobbin holder and kind of keeps it out of the way. A lot of times I end up using the bobbin holder to hold jigs that I'm getting ready to tie. Or the ones I've already tied and just keep them stacked up until I get an order done and then move them back out. But I don't like having the bobbin holder here, holding Chanel, taking the thread off, moving the bobbin holder back out of my way, putting tension back on the spool of thread. So I don't really use it very often. And the other one don't even have the bobbin holder on it. It's sitting over on the table somewhere. That's the only thing I don't use on the Peak. White. I have not tied one up with white yet. This will be the white one. This is going to be, this will be all of them for the website. That's going to start my website out. And then as I get inventories and stuff built back up, because I got to stop. I'm going to slow down a lot on my phone orders. That way I can take care of some bait shops around the area. I can keep the website, keep concentrating on my website. And still have time to be able to fish also. Because if you ain't careful when you do this job, you will run yourself completely out of time. So, Wallace Brown likes my pigs. I've caught, last weekend when I was up on Palmy, I caught more whites than I did crappie. A lot of those white bass were way out in the channel, but the Palmy River had came up some, and I think it pushed a lot of those white bass back out toward Twin Coves, and there was a ton of white bass out there I was picking up on graph, and caught quite a few of them too. And for some reason, the last 2-3 years, the white bass on Palm de Terre have been huge, a lot bigger than they had been in the past. And if I'm going to eat white bass, I want them out of water that's 60 degrees and colder. I think they taste a little better like that, but ain't nothing like catching a 2.5 pound white bass on 12-foot rod. Yeah, and they're big too. My little boy loves catching white bass. I do too. I've got no complaints. Cooler full of white bass or a cooler full of crappie, I go home happy. I'm still pretty satisfied with that. That's a fun fighting fish. White bass is got to be one of the funnest fighting fish ever. Pound for pound, that is just a good fighting fish. Yeah, they eat good. I like them a lot better in cold water, though, than I do warm water. Hi, Norman Neighbors. Hi, Eric. I've been watching you for a while now. Glad you're back on YouTube. Also, Ty with the Peak. Peak's a good advice. Jacob Chambers, I like to get into time just for myself. How much should I expect to spend? Jacob, it depends. You can start out doing this for right around $130 if you go to woodsandwateroutdoors.com. Woodsandwateroutdoors.com. They sell a kit and they will send you the vise, all the tools you need, jig heads, and material. I think it's $130. I might be wrong on that, somewhere around that. So when you get your kit in the mail, you can start tying immediately. You can open it up and you can have your stuff set up and be tying jigs in 15 minutes. I've sent some other people there to get them, and nobody has given me any bad reviews about Woods and Water Outdoors. So you might want to check them out. That is a good way to get started with a good all-around, you got everything in you need kit. That is the only place I know of that does that. I could be wrong. There could be a ton of other places that do it, but I know Woods and Water does it because I looked on their website myself. I seen it and I thought, man, that's a good deal. That's a lot better than getting started off Amazon, where you're going to get everything. You're going to get your kit, then you're going to have to go out and look for supplies. So the ones from Woods and Water, you can at least get your stuff, spend relatively small amount of money for everything you're getting, and know if that's something you even want to do. Because a lot of people will get this and do it and don't like it. Tying for yourself is a very rewarding hobby. Catching fish on the jigs that you've tied and the jigs you've made makes it worth it. I promise you that. It's a lot of fun to catch jigs or catch crappie on your own jigs. If nothing else, not to start a business or something like that, but it's fun. Teach your kids how to do it. My son, he'll tie some. We'll fish with his jigs. We'll fish with my jigs. It's pretty neat, who can tie the best looking jig, whose jig's going to catch the most fish. and then go out and put it to a test and see. You know, we always kind of turn it into a little bit of a competition when me and him are fishing together. And a lot of times he goes out with, I'm going to catch more fish on my minnows than I'm going to catch on my jigs. So it's usually jigs against minnows, or it has been the last few times we've been out. But that's, I guess, about all I got. That's all I'm going to add to the website to start with. So I'm going to get pictures of those up, get those on my store, get the link shared, get all that stuff out, and we'll get that up and rolling. And that should, once I get that inventory of these tied up, that should take a little pressure off of me, I hope. Some Texas heads, does he pour them with the J hook or just sickle hook? And do they come in 16th ounce and 8th ounce? I can get those. He will make those heads whichever hook you want. If you want them in J hooks, sickle hooks. And I think he's got, I want to say he's got 16ths all the way to a quarter. I don't think he has them under 16th, and I might be wrong. He might even have them smaller than that, but I know for sure 16th to a quarter. And those Texas minnow heads are pretty cool. And there's probably a more correct term for them, or a correct name for them. But that's what me and Jason Brummel kind of nicknamed them that, because when he started selling them, he was selling the crap out of them down in Texas. So we were saying, oh, that minnow head. Well, there's actually a minnow head, and then there's that minnow head. So we called them the Texas minnow versus the normal minnow. They make a pretty jig, I know that. I am going to get off here. Got some things I need to do, get some pictures taken, get some stuff set up. And hopefully maybe I can do a YouTube video on the lake tomorrow. That's what I'm shooting for. I got the GoPro cameras all charged, ready to go. I was wondering, that walleye head mode, the one I found to do it mows, has a collar behind the head. Is there another one they sell besides it? I don't know if they sell one beside it or not, or if Jason's pouring them and knows just the right amount of lead to put in there without getting a collar. And maybe there is one without a collar. I know there's a lot of people now doing that Texas minnow. I'm not sure how Jason's doing that. I'll message later on. Okay, I didn't realize that was Whiskerholic. If call Jason or message him, he might be on vacation, but I would think he'd probably be back Monday. He might be back this weekend too, but give him a call and see what he's got. Yeah, I like that jig head too. That's the only jig I've been using now for the last 6 months, I want to say. And I think there's something about that profile from underneath that makes a crappie look at it and think it's more of a bait fish. Than it's got more of a natural look from the underside than a round ball head does. Without collar, put no eye socket. Yeah, this is a walleye head. I ain't got none over here. They're clear over on the other side of the garage. I thought I had one tied up, but I don't. Yeah, all I know is it's an actual walleye head. It's in do it modes, and I don't know if they make one with a collar and one without a collar, or if that's just the way Jason pours them. It could just be the way he pours them too. He knows I use no collars. Goes up to a 5/8 ounce from 1/32. Joe Smith goes up 5/8 ounce from 1/32. Yeah, I'm not sure the one Jason had, if he might have had 1/32. I'm not really sure. I know he told me, and I remember it. I remember for sure him saying quarter, but I can't remember how small it went. I don't think it's a custom mode. I'm pretty sure it's a do it mode. And the ones he was selling to Texas, I'm pretty sure were just the jig heads, and they would have had a collar in them. But he'd be the guy to check with. I don't claim to be any expert with the molds and where the mold came from and all that. That's his expertise, and half the reason I won't pour jig his is just because I want to make sure he stays in business. I want to get my stuff from him, so you'll hear me promote Jason a lot because the small guys that help, you know, that's where I like to get my stuff from. Small mom and pop shop, somebody working in their garage, somebody working in their shop. And that's actually it. I'm going to get off here. I got a few things I got to do. So stay tuned. Watch tomorrow. I'll be on the lake. I've got a hat from the Plateau Fly Shop and a pack of jigs that'll be on a giveaway coming up here pretty soon. Have to cut the collars off. And that might be what he does. That could very well be what he does. I can't remember what he told me about. He always gives me the option of collars or no collars. Somebody else had, Official with Dave, a friend of mine I met on TikTok, he sent me some that had the collars on them, and some he actually cut the collars off himself. But Jason will always give me the option of whether I want collars or don't want collars, and he always knows when I order 1,000 jig heads that they ain't gonna have collars on there for jigs I'm gonna tie up. But yeah, I'm gonna get off here and I'm gonna get to moving. Hopefully I end up on the lake tomorrow. Kind of depends on what the weather does. With that front coming through tonight, it's probably already gonna make tomorrow tough anyway. And it's only supposed to be like 39 degrees, and I'm slowly but surely talking myself out of it. But I might not either. So if you haven't yet, and if you just tuned in today is the first time you're watching, please like, share, subscribe. There will be future giveaways coming up. Yep, it's going to be snowing here before too long, too. It's already snowing in Springfield. Yeah, we just left Spring. I just got back from Springfield right before I started doing this. I will see you guys. Like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching.